Next, the next speaker is Ayachebbi, who will speak about young women's leadership. Aya is an award-winning Pan-African Tunisian blogger, gender advocate, and peace activist, and she's won many prizes over the last few years. So over to you, Aya. Thank you very much.
So when we say civil society in Tunisia, we actually talk about civil action. That's how we influence civil society, and that's how we play a role as political actors. We use civil action as a powerful tool to claim our space and to make our voices heard, but in masses. So we've been inclusive to everybody to stand with us in masses. I know that civil action is not something new for civil society, but I think as young people, we changed the way we mobilize. We have regenerated the importance of civil action in today's world, and we revolutionized this way in innovative and creativity through social media. So we turned the social media platforms that have been used to socialize into a drive for social change. And with a Facebook event, we could mobilize masses of people. So with having these two spaces, online and offline, there is a threat to our space of activism. The civic space of civil society is unbelievably shrinking. So instead of giving us more space, we are censored. Our NGOs are shut down. And our restriction in public spaces, many women in the world have been restricted to public spaces. In Egypt, for example, Yara Salam and many other Egyptians have been in jail since 10 months now because they protested for the law of assembly, just because they protested their public space. So I think that government needs to respect our public space. An institution like the UN needs to support and protect our spaces online and offline. My second point would be about fragmentation in civil society versus inclusiveness. So there is this fragmentation that we need to address. In Tunisia, for example, there is this political debate going on about secularists versus Islamists. And so women who are in civil society and feminists are having a relationship of distrust, women on the left and Islamist women. And this distrust created a total break of their communication. So as young women, we are not just excluded from the discussion because we're young and because of our age, but also because I wear the veil or not, because I come from that city or region from the north or not, because I speak French or Arabic or Berber, and then I'm discriminated because I'm indigenous. And the list is so long. So for us as young people, we want to go beyond political manipulation of civil society and exclusion based on gender, race, age, sexual orientation, color, ethnicity, and other diversities that we should have been celebrating instead of discriminating against. If we continue this fragmentation and exclusion in civil society, we will end up working in silos, and that will make us weaker in the fight for gender equality. We young women want to work with inclusion and inclusiveness, and we proved that through our civil action in the streets. So there is somehow also this disconnection between the grassroots, the national and international level. And that's maybe one of the reasons why at the global level we don't have a strong agenda, not because we disagree at this level, but because we don't have as many voices from the grassroots. And what is the civil society than a grassroots? Then there is this generational gap. So the main impression that we are a rebellion generation and we do things differently and we don't listen to the elder generation. But at the end, we are a continuation of the previous generation's struggle, and we look up to female figures like the ones next to me. So this generational dialogue is needed because it's a continuation of our struggle and our action together. I want to conclude by stressing the fact that we young women are leading change already. Many people still tell us, you are the leaders of tomorrow. We're not the leaders of tomorrow. We are the leaders of today. We have been leading movements, leading NGOs, leading campaigns. We kicked out dictators. we have been tweeting president, and we turned upside down the up-bottom discussion. So we are already leading, and towards working on 2030, we need bold decisions, and we are a bold generation. So our full and meaningful participation has become needed, essential, and it's unacceptable that we're not on the table of the discussion. We are the leaders of today, not tomorrow, not next week, not next year.